Hello everyone. Are you ready to do your speak out exercises? My name is Samantha Allenderry. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. We are a nonprofit speech therapy clinic solely dedicated to helping you and everyone around the world living with Parkinson's. We want to help you improve your speech, and when you improve your speech, quite often the swallowing improves too because they're the same muscles. I'm going to take you through the 6 speak out exercises, and we're going to do some exercises to strengthen the tongue, the back of the tongue, which is essential for swallowing. How was your weekend? Go ahead and make a comment, whether you're practicing with me on Facebook or our website. If you're joining us on our website, down at the bottom of the chat feature, you'll see that you need to type in your name first. Just your name. Type Mary and hit submit, and then you can chat away. But let me know what you did this weekend. I'll tell you in a little bit what I did this weekend. And let's all take a sip of water. I am sipping warm water today. Just feels good on my throat. You don't need to sip on warm water, but just for me it feels better. If you have a mirror, okay, I want you to, you can see that. This is a little mirror that I got on Amazon. I like it. I use it to check my makeup before I go live, but also I think it is very good for people with Parkinson's to use a mirror when you're doing these exercises. Our reading and cognitive exercise today is all about building awareness. It's very tricky with Parkinson's, and I'll explain in a little bit what that is. But basically, things do not feel to the person with Parkinson's the way they really are. So you might feel that you're opening your mouth wide for the ahs and the glides, but when you look in the mirror, you realize that you're not. So I suggest you get a mirror. I'll have Lena post that link. You can find one on Amazon for about $7. It might be $9. All right, let's go with the first exercise, the warm-up. I want you to lift your voice and throw your voice across the room. The name of the program is called Speak Out. That means get the voice in front of you. So I want you to hit the wall across, or make your voice fly out the window, whatever you see across the way from you. Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. Good. Hit the wall. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. Be deliberate and intentional. We're trying to activate the full speech and swallowing mechanism. That takes a lot of intent. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Do you see how I'm exaggerating my mouth movements? If you have a mirror, look in the mirror. Okay, exaggerate. May, me, my, mo, moo. Your voice might sound a little gravelly. It may not sound as good as you'd like. We've got to warm it up. Just like a musician will warm up their instrument, you need to warm up your instrument. Let's do one more. Really think about it. May, me, my, mo, moo. Don't ever think about the breathing. If you need to take a breath, you just take it. But your focus is all about speaking out. Let's take a sip of water, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. If you are new to speak out, it may not be unusual for you to go through a few of the different exercises before you really get to produce your best voice. The next exercise is the ah. Look in your mirror. Open your mouth wide. Okay, open your mouth wide and project the ah across, speak out, hit the wall, make the ah fly out the window. That's what we want. Here we go. Ah. As you're doing the ah, you feel that the airflow is going forward, okay? Do it again. Ah. You're being intentional. You're not yelling, so we don't want ah, we don't want anything like that. It's ah, you're projecting. Ready? Go. Ah. For the sound to come out clear and to stay consistent, not trailing off at the end, you have the coordination between the breathing muscles and your vocal folds has to be just right. So get that good voice out. Let's do it again. You might feel halfway that you have to give it a little bit of a push to keep it consistent. Do that. Ready? Don't worry if you can't hold it as long as I can, even if it's 3 or 4 seconds, but it's nice, it's strong, you're speaking out, that's okay. Let's do one more. We're working hard. We're not just going through the motions. We're trying to activate the full speech and swallowing mechanism. Imagine if I just did an ah like this. Ah. That doesn't sound good, does it? And I wouldn't be doing anything. We're trying to strengthen these muscles. That's important. Let's take a sip of water. While you catch your breath, I'm going to tell you what I did this weekend. I had so much work to do. After working on the concert, I was so behind at home, behind at work. I just had so much to do. So I kind of played a game with myself. My husband was going hunting, so I had the house all to myself, which was really good. And I played my 16-minute rule or game. And this is what I did. And it's going to sound crazy, but I got so much done, and it's because I was using intent. I put the timer on, the kitchen timer, for 16-minute intervals. I did the laundry for 16 minutes. I did clean the kitchen for 16 minutes. I signed thank you notes. I had like 200 thank you notes. Thank you for everybody who's been donating to the holiday challenge, and I like to sign the letters. I feel like that's the least I can do is say thank you. So I did that for 16 minutes, and then I would go back and clean my bedroom for 16 minutes, and then I did some other work for 16 minutes. I did that from 6:30 in the morning until noon, and then about 2:30 until 6:30 that night. You can't believe what I got done. Now, why did it work? It worked because during those 16 minutes, I was totally focused. I was concentrating. I wasn't worrying about anything else, just that one task. That's using intent. So just my little tip. All right, the third speak out exercise. We're going to project the ah forward. Look in your mirror. Make sure your mouth stays open the whole time. We're going to glide all the way up, and then we're going to stop. Then we're going to throw the ah out with intent, and we're going to glide down. Keep the air in front of you, the sound. Ah. Stop. Good. Don't let it trail off. Use intent. Ready? Stop. Good. Do it again. Stop. Let's take a sip of water. I need some. Let's get some water. When you glide up and down the scale, your vocal folds are stretching. So they stretch one way when you go higher, they stretch a different way. When you go lower, we're trying to make the vocal folds more flexible, more pliable, so that you have a nice, colorful sounding voice, not monotone. And it'll help your swallowing too. All right, 2 more. Ready? Stop. Now open the mouth wide. Good. 1 more. Stop. All the way. Don't hold your breath. Good. Now, take a sip of water. Now, you might be asking, why 16 minutes? I have no idea. I just picked a random number. 16 minutes to get so much done. And you know what? By the end of the day, my house was clean. I was caught up at work. It was amazing, and I slept so well. I was getting in a very bad habit of waking up at 3:30 or 4 in the morning, and guess what? Sunday I woke up at 6. I was so happy. So just a little tip. I was thinking I should write a book, but it would only be 1 page. Set the timer. Use intent. Think about what you want to do, make your list, and just knock it out one by one. This will be easier for type A personalities like me. All right, we're going to count. We're going to project our voice forward, hit the wall, or make our voice fly out the window, activate the speech and swallowing mechanism. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Exaggerate. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Each sound up and over. Now we're going to do 1 through 6. If you need to take a breath, you just take it whenever you need to. Don't focus on the breath. That is old speech therapy from 30 plus years ago. Just focus on speaking out, and you'll take the breath when you need it, okay? 1 through 6, 7 through 12. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You see how I took a breath in there? I even played my 16-minute game this morning. What did I do this morning? I exercised only for 16 minutes. I'll take a walk later. But did weights for 16 minutes. I did laundry for 16 minutes. I did some more work and signed more thank you notes for 16 minutes. Made breakfast for my husband and then got to work. I don't know. I'm like feeling great today. I hope that maybe this little tip will help y'all. Okay, now. Question came in from a very frustrated spouse, and this spouse isn't the only one that's frustrated. Several are, and I'm going to explain to you why. Because the person with Parkinson's, her spouse, is speaking with intent when they're doing the exercises with me. They sound amazing. Their voice is loud enough, clear, articulate. They sound amazing. They sound like they used to sound before they had Parkinson's. And as soon as the person stops the exercises, they go to talk to their wife, and they're talking like this again. They're not speaking with intent, and it's so frustrating for spouses. But I want you to understand part of the problem, a big part of the problem. Self-awareness. Self-awareness and a sensory deficit related to Parkinson's. People with Parkinson's, things will feel differently to the person with Parkinson's than they really are. They will feel that they're speaking in a way that should be understood. And they're actually surprised when their spouse goes, "What? What'd you say? What? I can't understand you." You have to build your awareness. You have to become highly aware of how you are speaking, how people are responding to you. Are people leaning in? Are they making a face like they're not understanding? When you go out to a restaurant, you're going to become aware, did you have to repeat when you placed your order? You've got to increase your awareness. That is very low with Parkinson's, and even more so than just regular humans. With Parkinson's, it's very difficult. So So this is what I want you to do. You're going to work on increasing awareness before you speak. Before you speak, you are going to tell yourself, I'm going to use my best voice. All right? While you are speaking, you are going to pay attention to whether people are leaning in, are they smiling at you, are they looking the other way like they want to get away? What's happening while you're speaking, and you will adjust. If you see someone leaning in, you're going to speak with more intent. And then afterwards, you're going to self-evaluate. So today's reading material is all about self-awareness. This is a poem I found called A Difference by Tricia Sugarette. I guess that's how you say her name. So let's read this together. We're activating our speech and swallowing muscles. In order to do that, you're going to hit the wall. Your voice is going to hit the wall so hard it might fly back and hit you back. All right? Or your voice is going to fly out the window. Let's read the poem together. Ready? A Difference by Tricia Sugarette. Say it again. A difference. Did you hit the wall? Do it again. A Difference by Tricia Sugarette. Ready? To have eyes is one thing, to see is quite another. Do you see how when I say another, I'm speaking out? Read the whole thing. Ready? To have eyes is one thing, to see is quite another. All in front of you. Ready? To have ears is normal, to listen an art form. I'm going to ask you some questions in between, and let's see if you use your best voice. Let's read this again. To have ears is normal. To listen, an art form. Do you consider yourself a good listener? Say it with intent. Use your best voice. Use the voice that you're going to use for your spouse from now on. Let me ask you this. Do you know somebody who is a really good listener? I have to learn to be a better listener. All right, next one. Ready? To have a heart is a necessity. To have heart, glorious. All right, let's read it again with more intent. To have a heart is a necessity. To have heart, glorious. Do you know somebody? Is there someone in your life where you would say they really have heart? They care about other people. They show that they care about people. Who comes to mind when you think of that? Is there a famous person or a very well-known person that you think of that they have heart? They really care. Who is that person? Who's this very, think worldwide. Who is the person you think of that has heart? And use your best voice. Well, I think of Mother Teresa, right? She had heart. Yes, definitely. All right, next one. To have two hands, ordinary. To have helping hands, magnificent. Do you see how magnificent is going out the window? Say it with me. Magnificent. Don't let it trail off. Do it again. Magnificent. All right, read it again. Ready? To have two hands, ordinary. To have helping hands, magnificent. All right, do it again. Now use more intent. Ready? To have two hands, ordinary. To have helping hands, magnificent. Think of someone in your life who you consider to be very helpful. Who are they? Say their name with intent. I want you to think of two ways that you can be helpful to somebody else. How can you be helpful? How about speaking with intent to your spouse? It's really hard. And most people have a hard time doing that because it just doesn't feel right. You might even feel like you're yelling, and you don't want to yell at your spouse. Believe it or not, spouses, people with Parkinson's do feel that way, especially men. Men do not want to yell at their wives. So when you're telling them to speak with intent, they might feel like they're yelling, and that's why they're not doing it. So you've got to give them lots of compliments when they use their best voice. Let them try to figure out that voice that feels like they're yelling is not yelling. All right, let's read this one. To love someone or something is nice. To love selflessly, a miracle. Do it again. To love someone or something is nice. To love selflessly, a miracle. Who do you think of when you think of the word love? Say it with intent. Do you think of your spouse, your children, a neighbor? All right, last part of the poem. Ready? To have self-awareness essential. To have a soul superb. Say the word superb and speak out. Ready? Superb. Now say the whole phrase. To have self-awareness essential. To have a soul superb. I want us to read the whole poem now without stopping. Ready? Let's go. A Difference by Trisha Sugaret. To have eyes is one thing. To see is quite another. To have ears is normal. To listen an art form. To have a heart is a necessity. To have heart, glorious. To have two hands, ordinary. To have helping hands, magnificent. To love someone or something is nice. To love selflessly, a miracle. To have self-awareness, essential. To have a soul, superb. All right, let's go ahead and take a sip of water. We're going to do Dr. Boone's nonsense words, and then we're going to read our bonus reading. I am going to be talking about the sensory deficit and the self-awareness this week for my sessions. It's so important. It really is. Ready? Hit the wall. 3 times each word. Gu la gan ga ga. Gu la gan ga ga. Gu la gan ga ga. Use your mirror, okay? Use your mirror. See if you're exaggerating your mouth movements. That's self-awareness. It probably feels like you are, but it's probably not moving as much because of the Parkinson's. Let's do the next one. Ku ka mangu ka. Ku ka mangu ka. Hit the wall. Ku ka mangu ka. Last 2. Ready? Gangla, gangla, gangla. And the last one, ready? Kukla. Move your mouth. Kukla, kukla. Take a sip of water. We're almost done. The bonus reading that I picked today is about self-awareness. I hope that all of you, whether you're practicing on YouTube, Facebook, or the website, that you'll download the reading today. Download it, practice it. The reading that I brought up is about self-awareness, and what I want to bring up is self-awareness and the term vulnerability really go hand in hand. Because to be self-aware, to really look at your weaknesses, to see, it's not just about speaking. Are you ever walking and you're dragging your foot and you hear it, but you don't do anything about it? Become self-aware that you're not walking with intent. To become self-aware, to identify your weaknesses, you become vulnerable. You become vulnerable, right? And we don't want to be vulnerable, but it is a good thing. You will be better. Did you know that I did not tell anybody, or very few people at Parkinson Voice, that I was born with a cleft palate? And I did not tell people, I know y'all know now that I don't hear out of my left ear. I did not tell anybody until our 10th anniversary because I didn't want anybody to know. But when I made myself vulnerable, I made myself to where I could start to improve my speech and also to help other people. So many people appreciated that I told them and that they knew I was working on it and that I can help you. So let's do the bonus reading. Yes, time for bonus reading. Let's get the bell. All right, here's the bonus reading about self-awareness and vulnerability. If you're new to the broadcast, we read straight through without stopping. Here we go. Ready? Bonus reading. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is our ability to identify what we're thinking, feeling, and doing. Additionally, we can name these thoughts, emotions, and behaviors and better understand the role they play in our lives. Ready? While it might sound simple, self-awareness is incredibly challenging to achieve. Humans are wired with biases and emotional patterns that prevent us from being self-aware. Really exaggerate those red words. Keep going. Did you know 90% of people believe they are self-aware and only 10 to 15% really are? Why is self-awareness so important? Ready? If we are self-aware, we are better able to monitor ourselves. We can recognize areas that are weaker. We can begin to make improvements. We can begin to build our lives in a way that gives us what we want and need. Ready? We can avoid or stop the negative feelings and actions that no longer serve us. Keep going. What is vulnerability? Vulnerability is perhaps a lesser-known element. This could be partly due to our culture creating damaging myths about what vulnerability means. Oops, sorry, here it is. Vulnerability is our willingness to take risks and expose ourselves emotionally to ourselves and to others. We are vulnerable when we begin to accept that we do have weaknesses and we do have areas that need improvement. Vulnerability requires courage, a quality we don't mention enough for self-growth. I know it can be very confusing what you feel with Parkinson's. You feel you're speaking loudly enough. You feel that your walking is fine. You feel that you're writing okay until you pick up to look at what you read and you can't read it. We've got to build our self-awareness with Parkinson's. It is very important, and we will talk more about it this week. Let me know what you thought about this. I hope this is going to be interesting to you. I hope that it's going to help you, especially as we get closer to the holidays and you're going to be with family and friends, and I want you to have your best voice. I want you to be walking like you're the boss. I just want you, I know that you can do it. So have a great day.